Hello, Education 2301, Introduction to Special Populations. I am your professor, Dr. Jennifer Kwong. I look forward to the next 8 weeks with you as we dive into 5 different special populations that need our attention when we become educators. So this is the week 1 explanation. So we're going to go to modules where you've already gone into the Start Here module and you've looked at how the course is laid out, what the course is about. There'll be another video about field experiences. And so we're going to dive right into week 1, RTI, differentiated instruction, laws, arts, and collaborations. Seems like a lot of information, but we're going to tie into 1301 with RTI, response to intervention, and differentiated instruction. This is where we begin seeing how different children learn in different ways, and we support them. And then what if they need more support than the regular classroom teacher can provide? What laws govern special education? How do you get someone into special education? What is an ARD? What is their IEP? Who do you collaborate with? Who brings in those extra resources that you're going to need to provide the education? So there's going to be a checklist that will walk you through everything. Everything's going to be due on Friday. And the first thing is going to be lecture materials. And so there's a variety of these topics. So this one's going to be collaborating and response to intervention. And so this is the tiers where prior to somebody receiving special education services, we're going to try general ed with support in group settings, individualized support. We're going to make a referral to special education. And then who do you work with? Do you work with the nurse? Do you work with speech? Do you work with OT? Do they come in and just watch the consult for 15 minutes? Do they come in and co-teach with you? I was a co-teacher with deaf education for 8 years. And so I was always in the classroom with the general education teacher and my students. This video, if you just took 1301, we're going to see it again. Once again, it's going to remind you of the steps it takes with a referral, an evaluation, a meeting, goals, and then laws. And in just a minute, we're going to look at videos about what is 504 with the Americans with Disabilities Act and what is special education. And so there are renewals of it. So in 1990, this is IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. There's been a revision since then, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act. However, these concepts are the same in all of them. And so putting someone in a least restrictive environment being one of them. So watch that for those requirements. Here's the IEP team, and it might also be called the R team, where you go in after someone's been referred and diagnostics have been done to review it. Who gets invited, what is discussed, how do you create an IEP? They walk you through that. There's also a 504, which more than likely you'll deal more with children who are on 504s versus someone who has an IEP. They explain the difference. And that's the content material for this week. Next, we're going to dive into the introductions. And so for this, you're going to do options. Most people choose to type in introduction and upload a picture. You could choose to do artwork or create a video. And so your name, your major, what do you hope to teach someday when you graduate, and something you'd like to learn from this class. And then we're going to play 2 truths and a lie. You're going to make 3 statements, and I want you to relate them to education. 2 of them is true, and 1 of them is a lie. You'll be able to look at my example to see. And then over the course of the few days, you'll come back in and guess on other people's. And then on Friday, you'll come back and reveal your lie. Make sure you go in and have your picture. It makes it a lot easier to identify later on. Me feel like you're in the class when I can see your face. Next is going to be the orientation quiz. Here is the PDF of the questions. You can print it out, find all the answers ahead of time. An APA example is in modules under the Start Here module. You're welcome to download it and use this as your copy of it. Then you're going to be doing the week 1 activity. And there's 2 parts. You're going to be writing 2 quiz questions. They're both matching questions. So if it's a true false, if it's a multiple choice, you won't get credit for the question. So the first one's going to be over, let me backtrack. The first part is the RTI practice. So you're going to go through and draw the RTI triangle with the 3 levels. You're going to give me at least 3 facts about each level as we go up. Then you're going to do 2 matching questions. And so one's going to be over the laws, and I've given you an example of what it looks like. So here's matching, where I've got my 4 choices and then the 4 answers, and someone has to match. But you do have to give me the answer key so I know that you know which ones go together. So this one's over laws. The second one's over special education. And this is over the IEP meeting, or how do you get into it. So like referral, what FIE is, LER, and IEP. This needs to be more than just full individual evaluation, least restrictive environment. That doesn't let me know that you understand the concepts that are behind those acronyms. So go ahead and give me what those definitions are. And of course, if you have any questions, and I'll be in the discussion board for us to talk about your experiences in special education in week 3 or 4, there's a discussion board where we'll dive in deeper with your experiences with special education. But always willing to expand on the topic. So I look forward to meeting each of you guys in the introduction discussion board.